So the video game company puts out this game. They're like, oh, it's history accurate. It's about Japan. The star of the game, obviously, as everyone knows, will be a black man and an Asian woman. These are the characters in the Japanese video game. Japan says, poop on you. We don't like that. And like you see here, Kangman Lee, very nice individual. I met him out in Montana. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. They all look alike, but
Yeah,
no, I think that's him. He was doing photography for Gina Carano, I think. Anyway, he writes, all Ubisoft had to do was have a Japanese main character for a game that takes place in feudal Japan, but they couldn't help shoehorn a DEI black guy and repeatedly market him as a real life samurai based on zero historical evidence. Now a whole nation is pissed off. This has 60,000 likes.
That's the thing, is I'm so sick and tired of how, when we've been speaking out against this for ever since they've revealed everything, and people like all the Kotaku peeps, the woke peeps keep gaslighting us. Oh, actual Japanese people don't care. It's just white people in America. You guys are the only ones who care. When it's like, I'm seeing my comments. I'm seeing a bunch of people, like, I have to translate it because they're straight up Japanese, from Japan. Yeah. And this definitely has been a big issue when I make these videos about it. I get a lot of, I mean, they're clearly looking for these videos because I'm getting a lot of Japanese people finding the videos and commenting, thank you so much for talking about this.
Yeah, exactly.
And so much to the point that it's reached a government level. And it's like, are you guys going to stop gaslighting us now and tell us this isn't a thing and this isn't happening? And even worse, you're gaslighting the actual Japanese people who are complaining about this stuff and saying that they don't exist.
This is privilege, because when they replace white people and we complain about it, we're racist, white supremacists. But the Japanese, they get to do it. And like, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Like, they would never apologize to white people for
race
swapping a white character.
Yeah.
So then they're forced to issue this apology. By the way, if you're tuned in right now and you're a first-time viewer, say hi in chat. I saw somebody in live chat say they were first-time viewer. Make sure you subscribe. I think I didn't read it. Where is it? Oh, Bad Hat Larry says, first time here and I like you two already. JR says, you're not ugly, you're poor. Oh, I got that one. Savvy Greek's feet. Okay, shout out. JR says cat. And then on Rumble, Lord of the Rings says more like Yasuke. Am I right? Oh, like, yeah, you got it. Wow, a rare moment where Melonie got it and I didn't. Damn. The Melonie confirmed racist. Okay, so they end up putting out this. Oh yeah, and if you're on Rumble, I'm trying to get to 250,000 followers. So if you don't have an account, or if you're one of the 1,000 people watching on YouTube, download the Rumble app, follow the quartering, watch me on Rumble. It's we've been doing great back in this time slot. I don't know if you noticed, Melonie, but our numbers are much better back in this time slot now, averaging like usually 5K to 7K. You know, obviously if I talk more politics, it does better on Rumble, but still have 5K in today, and we're talking a lot about like other stuff. So really appreciate everyone tuning in at 1 Eastern every day. It allows me, everyone who, by the way, if you're on YouTube or you're on Rumble, if you become a member, that is the extremely powerful, most powerful way to help us. Every stream we do is demonetized. So on Rumble, there's a button here called the basement. If you click that, you can join my locals for $5 a month. It goes directly to supporting people like having co-hosts like Melonie, or on YouTube, if you click the $sign in the chat and join as a member, that also helps. We almost always are demonetized, so that goes a long way. Kilted Heathen says, we was samurais. Yeah. They wasn't cheat. So Ubisoft ends up issuing an apology and then trying to basically change the conversation. First time watching, and I watch every video. Hey, I'm glad you're here for the live. Make it a part of your everyday schedule, you know? And we like people who watch later too. I know a lot of people watch later, and that's cool too. They're trying basically to say, consequently, we respectfully request that any criticism not be directed at our collaborators, both internal and stop dunking on the people who are pushing our DEI crap is what they're saying.
Yeah, and the people that they're expert that they hired and had front facing on everything. She was an expert on made up gender and sexuality stuff. That's what it was about.
And I'm not saying every time, but it's another overweight white woman. Every time. Every time you get some crap like this, there's an overweight white woman behind it. Every time. I promise you. Like, if you're in Vegas and you had to bet on it, I put your money on that.
Did you see that one fat white woman from the Concord game? How she had everybody address her as professor?
Yeah. Creepy.
Her pronouns were professor.
Yeah. And so basically Assassin's Creed ends up apologizing and then now pretending that it was never supposed to be historically accurate. You know, while Yasuke is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that this matter of debate and discussion, we have woven this carefully into our narrative. And with our other lead character, the Japanese shinobi, a female character that nobody wants to play as except chicks, who is equally important to the game, our dual protagonists provide players with, just add a third protagonist. There's still time. You don't have to get rid of the black guy. Just make a white guy, or I'm sorry, a Japanese guy. A white guy. Yeah, that'd be even better.
Would be hilarious. They're like, guys, we fixed it. We added a white guy.
Now, Ubisoft, you know, you'd have to translate here. This one has 10,000 likes. Let's see. Oh, usually you could translate, right?
Oh, there it is. It's right on.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. I think the story about Yasuke should be considered fiction based on Yasuke. The issue of historical retelling is no longer a UBI issue. It's but a Lockley issue. However, Yasuke is no longer the problem. The plagiarism of materials from manga organizations and cultural heritage sites, the misrepresentation of Japanese history, and the misrepresentation of Japanese as Chinese, among other things, show disregard for Japan.
Yeah.
So they're trying to say, oh, you're only mad about the black guy. And they're like, no, actually,
it's so much more.
You know, you filled feudal Japan with Chinese lanterns. And like, obviously that's a sensitive issue for Asians. Like, I just, like, the like y'all look-alike thing. It's just as sensitive for black people, I'm sure. Like, oh, you're from, you know, oh, you're thinking every black person's from the same country or whatever. Like, it doesn't really happen to white people like it does to Asian people, or they're like, I'm especially Chinese, Japanese.
I know.
You know, like, dirty knees, look at these. But anyway, the like, by the way, Chinese people and Japanese people look nothing alike.
I know.
They sound nothing alike. They look nothing alike. Are there Asian cultures or Asian countries that do look alike? Yes. But hey, Chinese and Japanese, like, try harder, bro. Like, they don't look alike at all. Their facial structure is completely different. Their eyes are you can just look at their eyes and know that they're not the same person. Or they're not this, you know, from the same people. And in Japan, it's one of the few areas that you're actually allowed to care about your country and not be called racist, you know, or a white nationalist or whatever the case is. You know, like in America, if you're America First, they call you ultra mega extremist or, you know. By the way, what do you think about the gold hat?
I love it.
Dude, everybody, I wish that
was that a super limited edition or something?
I don't know. They sold out at the rally, and like everyone was like, dude, where'd you get the gold one? I wish that the text was a little different color. Or like the American flag, but this is very Trump. Like, gold on gold.
That's true, it is.
You know? But like, yeah, I was walking around the convention and people like, gold, where'd that? And then they were like 4 hours before he went on stage, they were all out.
Nice.
But anyway, I don't know where that came from. I was just sitting up here. Yeah, so the Japanese are basically saying, from what I can tell, is like, yeah, it's not just Yasuke. It's everything else you got going on.
For real. They started they've got logos wrong and stuff, a lot of inaccuracies. They have a sword from an anime One Piece.
Yeah, that one too.
And so it's just like there's so many different elements here, and they know that the biggest issue with the Japanese players here was that, hey, you guys are trying to pass this stuff off as realistic and stuff. So now Ubisoft sends this non-apology, even gaslighting them. Oh, wait, this is fictional. We're not pretending like this isn't real. When Ubisoft has always prided themselves in the fact that, okay, we're inspired by historical events going up. That was the basis of Assassin's Creed games, was inspired by actual history. And especially when you've got a character who was created after a real dude, and then obviously they changed everything about him pretty much. So they can't pretend like they aren't trying to pass this off as trying to be something more than just a historical or more than just a fictional piece of work. If it was all, oh, this is just fiction, then why did you hire historians? Why did you hire experts? All of that doesn't add up.
That's a very valid point. And why was the historian you hired somebody with a degree in gender ideology?
Exactly.
Like literally.
Exactly.
You didn't hire, and then they trotted out. One of the most disrespectful things I saw was like, they trotted out that Asian guy to try and run defense for him. He was like wearing a kimono or something like that. He's like, actually, this is where I'm like, dude, like, just take the L. And like, by the way, this game is going to be a disaster.
Oh,
like,
it will. It will.
And
then they make Yasuke gay too. So they give him all these gay love options and stuff. So not only are you...
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, the black community is going to love that.
I know. And so that's the thing is, imagine countless of all these years after your death, and they put you in a video game just to make you gay. So it's not only are they insulting the Japanese people with how they've changed a lot of the history with this kind of stuff, but with the main character Yasuke, but then they're making him gay. So then you're also going to make the black community upset with that.
Yeah, that's one of the it's like one of those gays for Palestine things.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you think white folks have an issue with the LGBTQ community? Go ask black people like what they think. Go ask are you kidding me? And like, by the way, I don't care that they're entitled to feel that they want to feel that way, but they're like operating under this assumption that like, because they're black, they're somehow progressive and woke. Like, no, they don't like that stuff either. They got that whole term. The black community's got the term zesty. What do you think that means? Like, what do you think? That's their Melanie Mac word. It's calling stuff zesty. All right. So you're taking a guy, making a black character zesty, and you think, who's this for? Again, it's for overweight white women.